Today, we're coming at you with your January 2020 market update, where we're going to cover both the national and the local real estate news. And now to the show.
Welcome to the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show, where we bring you insights into the local Central Virginia real estate market, go in depth to answer your real estate questions and concerns, and interview local figures and influencers in the greater Richmond area. And now, let's get to the latest episode with your host, Chris Elliott, and co-host, Maddie Ray.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time that you are getting this content. We want to welcome you back. So today we're going to be giving you your monthly market update for the month of January 2020. I hope your year is off to a great start. As we do always, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the national news first, a couple stories for you to know. All of the major real estate gurus, all of the economists are now projecting that the recession that we are due to have is most likely going to be starting in 2021 as opposed to 2020. Goldman Sachs 2020 outlook states there is just a 20% probability of a 2020 recession. That number was higher just a few months ago, but now economists are pushing that back a little bit further. So the economic recession that we are bound to have, just because we've had such a bull market over the last 10 years, is now projected to be potentially the latter half of 2021. Something else to know, and we'll show it in the graphic, home sales are projected to continue to grow in 2020. We shared this with you last month in our market update. That is still very much the case, and you can see all of the major information bodies are all projecting growth in home sales in 2020. As far as mortgage rates go, mortgage rates are projected to hold between 3.6 to 3.8% in 2020, as you can see in the graphic. So that's very good for anybody out there looking to buy. Money is very, very cheap historically. Talk to anybody with a little bit of gray hair, and they'll share with you that 3.8%. Even 3.8%, even 4% is a fantastic interest rates. Should keep home sales going, and that's part of what's continuing to, or that's part of what's contributing towards the home sales growing in 2020. The biggest projected issue for the real estate market in 2020 is an inventory shortage. Now, we've been experiencing this over the last couple of years. That is going to continue to be a problem in 2020, or I guess a problem depending on how you look at it. The month supply of inventory has continued to drop on a national and a local level, as you can see in our graphic here. Just a friendly reminder, anything under 6 months month supply of inventory is a metric in which we say, hey, if at the rate of which homes are selling, if no new homes were to hit the market, how long would it take to sell out all of the current inventory on the market? Anything below 6 months is considered to be a seller's market. As you can see, we're way below that. So we're still going to be very much in a seller's market throughout 2020 based on all indicators. With all of these factors, with money being cheap, with inventory being shortage, home prices are going to continue to appreciate. We've been seeing about 5% appreciation rates the last couple of years. That will continue in 2020. So if you own a home, that is phenomenal news that your home will be worth 5% more when we sit down again at this time next year, based on all the projections. So and that the appreciation homes are set to continue to appreciate over the next 5 years, as you can see in this graphic, if we have one. So what's really cool about that is someone buying a $250,000 house in 2020. So if you were out going out and buying a $250,000 home, today, tomorrow, next week, that home is projected to see a $47,500 growth in equity, or growth in value, growth in net worth to the homeowner, however you want to look at that, over the next 5 years. So anybody looking to buy can buy with confidence, knowing that we're in great times to buy right now, but that's going to be a smart decision over the next 5 years with the projected growth that we're projected or with the growth that we're projected to see. So that's your national news. Now converting over or pivoting over to the local news. This year is off to a great start. We are really starting to see the market heat up over the last couple weeks. It seems like in the middle of January, things just really took off. I guess folks got out of the fog of the holidays. We're seeing the number of showings up across the board. I'm seeing it personally across my listings. We're seeing multiple offer situations. I've personally seen, as of the date of this recording, January 22nd, I believe it is. My podcast producer will correct me if I'm wrong. But I've already seen 2 multiple offer situations on 2 of my own personal listings. So the market is definitely getting hot. Yep, we talked about that. As far as the numbers go, so we're going to share some numbers with you on the screen here, but there's a couple of stats that I thought were interesting. As you can see, days on market continues to stay low. So we're at about, I think it's 33 days on market. Once again, Jacob can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a very good thing, meaning that if a home hits the market, on average, it's getting sold in about 33 days, which is phenomenal. The list price to sales price continues to stay high. So I think we're somewhere around 98 to 99%, meaning what you list your home for versus what it actually sells for. So that's also phenomenal. Very good. If you're somebody looking to sell, you're going to be able to get a great price. If you look at looking at the end of the month inventory, there were less homes on the market from December of 2018 to December of 2019. Also, going from November of 2019 to December of 19, there were less homes on the market. So there's less homes available for buyers to go out there and purchase in the month of December. Of course, we're always looking a month back because we don't have the numbers for January just yet. But, as you could see, this coupled also, one thing I almost forgot, the month supply of inventory we talked about earlier, but that continues to drop, and you can see that on the numbers we're looking at. So, I'm sharing all this information. What does this mean to you? If you're a seller, we're very much headed into a perfect storm for sellers in 2020, with inventory being short, rates continuing being low, and as we discussed earlier, that's going to force or we're going to see continued appreciation of home values because pretty much, demand is high, inventory is low, and money is cheap. So that's going to continue to push prices up, which is going to be phenomenal if you're looking to cash in on your equity this year. Also know, like we discussed earlier, the selling season, the market has already kicked off. So if you're somebody that's waiting for the spring, is what we hear of a lot of this time of year, you're waiting for things to really heat up. Don't wait any further. We're already there. So pretty much if you wait to the spring now, all you're waiting for is you're waiting for more of your competition to hit the market. And that's generally what we see, or at least what we've seen in the last couple of years, is the market already is heated up in January, especially going into February. And, the cool thing, though, if you hit the market now, you're one of maybe 1 or 2 homes, 3 homes that buyer is going to be able to shop you against, versus if you wait until everybody else does, kind of conventional wisdom is you wait until the spring, you're then going to be one of 8 homes or one of 10 homes that buyer's going to be shopping you again. So simply by waiting, you're just waiting on more inventory to hit the market. You're creating more competition or allowing more competition to be coming in against your property. I hope that makes sense. If you're not ready to hit the market yet, go ahead and get ready. Don't get caught flat-footed. Don't wait until, the kids get out of school. Don't wait until Easter. Don't wait until things warm up to get ready. There's usually a little bit of a process of getting a home ready for market, or there's things that can be done to boost your sales price. So go ahead and let's have a conversation. Let's start that process now. Let's get that ball rolling so that we can get you on the market before everybody else does. And you could really set yourself up for success. Even if you say, hey, Chris, I don't want to list until the kids get out of school. I don't want to list until April. That's fine. I'd rather have the conversation with you now to give you those things that you could do to put yourself in a better position now versus 2 weeks before you want to list. And then we're running out of time, or you're feeling rushed or scrambled, or those, things like that. So never too early to have that conversation. And then last but not least for sellers, we've seen this over the last couple of years. When a market gets hot, sellers tend to get a little bit sloppy in what they do. In other words, they just throw their home up on the market, avoiding best practices or not adhering to best practices as far as picking appropriate pricing. Making sure the home is prepped as well as it can be before it's hitting the market. Hiring an agent with the best marketing plan possible to net you the the most amount of money that you possibly can for your home. And here's the thing, with the market being as hot as it is, a hot market will bail you out or kind of cover your sins, so to speak, cover your mistakes. And while the property might sell, you're not taking full advantage of the great market we're in, and you're not selling for the most amount of money that we're in. So I talk to a lot of people, and they say, well, I sold it myself, or I use my, friend, family member, whoever that does this part-time, and the property's still sold. Well, yeah, the property might still sell, but you're not getting the maximum dollar that you could be for your home. So definitely take full advantage of the market that we're in. If you are a buyer, man, I feel for you. This is not going to be the easiest year to buy a home. It's going to be a great time to buy a home because of interest rates being as low as they are and the appreciation that we're projected to see. But it's going to be tough just because inventory is going to be short. So you're going to be duking it out pretty much on every property that you see on the market. So if you're a buyer and you're waiting until the spring, realize that yes, more inventory will hit the market no matter how much we preach or no matter how much we jump on this camera and we say, hey, now's the time to hit the market. The majority of sellers are going to wait till the spring. So realize that more inventory is coming in the spring, but also realize that the more buyers were going to be entering the marketplace. So it's not like it's going to be easier to buy a home in the spring. There's going to be more choices, but you're going to be competing against more buyers as well as we head into the spring market. If you're somebody that's looking to make a purchase in 2020, go ahead and get pre-approved now. Just like I talked about with sellers, it's never too early to have the conversation. It's never too early to have the conversation with a mortgage lender, just so you know what your financing options are. If there's anything that you could do as far as cleaning up your credit or saving more money or doing this or doing that to put yourself in a better position to get into a better loan product, to get a better rate, or just to get organized, it's much easier to have that conversation well in advance versus waiting until you're a week before you want to buy a home, or waiting until you identify a home that you want to purchase and you're simply not able to get it, get things in order. So go ahead, have that conversation early with a mortgage lender. If you need a referral for one, we'd be happy to put you in touch. Just reach out to me and we can definitely do that for you. And then last but not least, and we talk to this, anytime we're sitting down with somebody that wants to buy a home, we're telling them, hey, you're going to have to act quickly. So do your research, sit down, whether it's by yourself or with your significant other, really crystallize what you absolutely need in a home, what are your wants, what you're looking to do, just so you can have that confidence that when that perfect property presents itself, you're ready to pull the trigger. It's still going to be kind of an anxious time for you, but realize if you're going to get a property under contract in the market that we're going to have this year, you're going to have to be prepared to act quickly. So just knowing that. So guys, that was your market report for January 2020. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any specific questions or concerns, feel free to comment below, send me a direct message, send me an email back, however you're seeing this email. Follow us on all of our social channels. Once again, appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Thanks for joining us for the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show. If you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, please contact Chris Elliott at chris@chriselliottrealestate.com or by phone at 804-980-1898. And please join us again next time for the Chris Elliott Real Estate Show.